Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today is BookList Thursday. This is a video series I do with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. And every Thursday we bring you a list or book topic that we feel like talking about for the week. And this week we are wrapping up our 5-star predictions. This round we worked with Caitlin from Bandy's Books, so I will definitely have her and Lindsay linked down below. And we decided to pick books that have been on our shelves for a very, very, very long time. Okay, this was an interesting round. All right. We're just going to go in the order that I finished them. So the first one is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Now, this one I've had for a very long time. I don't remember exactly when I got it, but I'm pretty sure I picked it up at a library sale when we were living in New Mexico. So that was a little while ago. And I listened to this on audiobook. I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. This is not a book that I was ever required to read in high school or college or anything. So I just had never read it. So this was my first time reading it. And I really enjoyed it. I really liked the feel of it. I felt like I was in the 20s, and just the descriptions of the parties and the elusiveness of Mr. Gatsby was really very vivid in my mind as I was reading this. So the writing was really good. It went in places I was not expecting at all, because I did not know this story at all. I really didn't. I have never seen an adaptation, didn't know what the synopsis of this book was. I knew it was set in the 20s. It was surrounding parties and richness and all that stuff, but I was not expecting what happened in here to happen. So I loved that. I found the audiobook that was in Apple Books available that was for free, and it was narrated by Leslie Odom Jr. And now I want him to read everything to me, please. Can he just follow me around and read my books out loud to me? That would be fantastic. He was phenomenal. One of the best narrations I've ever heard. He was so good. It should not be a surprise, but he really was so good. And I would listen to anything that he narrates. So I'm going to do some research and see if he narrates any other audiobooks. If he does, I'm going to be listening because it was fantastic. But I did really enjoy this book. I did give it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 because while I enjoyed the story and there is a plot, it felt very slice of life because you're really just kind of thrown into the middle of it. And I don't know. I guess that's the only issue I have with it, was that it felt slice of life, which I don't always love. I need more than that. So, but it was still really good. So I did give it a 4 stars, like a high 4. Yeah, but I really liked it a lot. Okay, the next one is Mudvayne by Taryn Fisher. This was my first Taryn Fisher book that I've read. I have a few of hers on my shelves, but this is the first one, and I knew I wanted to start here. So I've had this one for a while. I got this one as a special signed copy of it. Now, this is a self-published book, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this cover is gorgeous. This is like an anniversary edition of this book. And so when it became available on her website, I ordered it and got it personally signed. So I've had it for a long time. Okay. This is a book that follows a girl who leads a very dark life. She leads a very, very dark life. She's actually an author. She has written a best-selling book, and you are following her through some of her relationships and what's happening because of that. Something very traumatic also happens to her, which leads her into one of these relationships, and you kind of see how they meet and how things progress and all that kind of stuff. I can't go into too much detail because it's not a very long book, and I don't want to give too much away, but most of this book is following her while she's being held in captivity. So I'll say that. That's all I really knew going in. That's all I really think that you should know as well. This covers some very, very, very dark themes. There are a lot of content warnings in here, so I'm going to encourage you to look at my Goodreads review if you need content warnings. I don't want to say them out loud because I think some of them could be spoilery. So if you don't need content warnings and you like dark things, I recommend picking this up. If you do need content warnings, like you just need to know what's going on before you go in so you're prepared, or if you need to know what's going on so that you stay away from it, check out my Goodreads review. I have all those listed in there. I'll leave that link down below. But there's dark themes in here, dark things that happen. I will say I gave this a 4, solid 4. The thing keeping me from giving it a 5 is that the overall why she was being held in captivity for me was a little underwhelming. I wanted it to be a little bit like, I wanted more from that because I just kind of went, that's it? Like, but why? But why? There's got to be more why. And so that was the thing that was kind of, for me, I felt a little bit let down by that. And then there's another thing too. There was kind of like this big thing that was being built up. And to me, when it was revealed, it was a little bit underwhelming. So it was just kind of like one of those things. I just wanted a little bit more. I think she could have taken it further. I think she could have pushed more boundaries with that. And I kind of wish that she had done that. This is also a self-published book. There are typos. I try my hardest. Well, especially with self-published books, because this is not going through an editor. This is not, going through like an official editing process as far as the publisher goes. So this was her. So I understand that things can happen, things can get overlooked and all that stuff, but there were quite a few, and I was just like trying not to take a red pen to it. I did not, but but it did make me feel a lot of things. It made me think for sure. And there was one chapter in here that just made me so physically uncomfortable in a good way. But I was physically uncomfortable reading it. And so there's that. And I did use quite a few book darts, as you can see. So lots of book darting happening in this one too. But I did really enjoy it. So solid 4, really liked it. Definitely will read more from her. The third one. Okay, so The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult. I am DNFing this for now. I've already been yelled at by multiple people when they found out that I DNF this. Okay. This is so hard to explain. I was listening to this on audio. The audio is fine. There's multiple narrators. The audio is good. It's not the audiobook at all. I was listening to it. I got 22% in. And I was bored. Now, here's the thing. This is going to be a DNF for right now. I am not going to get rid of this book. This is going to stay on my shelves. I think that this is a case of this is not the right time for me to read this book. I think I'm getting to a point in my reading where if I'm going to pick up historical fiction, I need to really be in the mood for it. And I just don't think I'm in the mood for that right now. So I think that's why I was not enjoying this book. I think that if I pick this up at the right time, that I can really love it. So that's why I said, okay, I'm not going to force myself the rest of the way through this because I'm probably just going to not like it. And I just had to kind of realize that about the timing of this one. So this is a not for me right now, but it will stay on my shelves and I will pick it up at another time. This is a World War II historical fiction, and we are following a woman who is a baker, and she lives the life of kind of a nocturnal life because, she bakes all night and then sleeps during the day. She does that for a very specific reason. Not only does she have a talent for baking, there's another reason that she does that too, and just kind of lives a little bit of a solitary lifestyle. But she ends up meeting one of her customers, and he confides in her that he is a Hitler Nazi, and that he committed war crimes in World War II. And he discloses this to her for a specific reason, and you kind of find that out. And so she's struggling with, do I turn this guy in? Because this is set during a time where they were still trying to find people. They were still trying to find war criminals at that time. So that's kind of where it was starting to go. But I don't know. I needed to put it down for now. So I will eventually pick this back up again at some point, but for right now, it just wasn't working for me. And that was something I had to really take a look at and take a step back and say, okay, just not right now. And that's okay. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. I'll pick it up another time. Okay, so that was interesting. 2 4s and a DNF. So that's my experience with this round of 5-star predictions. I'm very excited to see what Caitlin and Lindsay had going on with theirs. And so make sure you go and check them out. I will leave their channels linked down below. And huge thanks to Caitlin for working with us on this one. It was a lot of fun. And we will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.